The Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, you talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. Check, we Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, then find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow, who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. To the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Miggy for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday, happy Memorial Day. You already know what it is. Shout out to all my vets out there. All my friends, I'm a vets, you know what I'm saying? If you lost somebody, please, you know, Memorial Day is not just about cooking out. It's about people who sacrifice their lives for you Bamas, you know what I'm saying? So Make sure you get it. All right. Make sure you represent your armed military services. All right, but especially the Army because we're just that much better. We're just that much better. You know what I'm saying? And oh, let me see if I can find it. I haven't done this in so long. Let me see. You gotta start it off right. Let me see if I can find it. No, that's not it. Let me see if I can. You know, it is armed serve. It is Memorial Day. I should have had this. Already linked up and ready. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Let me see here. Go here. But we gonna get into today's stuff. But before I do that, I gotta do this. You know what I'm saying? First, nobody.
We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might. And the army goes rolling along. Proud of
all we have done, fight it till the battle's won. And the army, he goes rolling along. It is high, hey, the army's on his way. Count on the cadence, right and go. 2, 3, 4, there we go. You will always know that the army goes rolling along. If you know, you know. Nobody sings the first stanza. It's always you go to the middle stanza. But let's get into today's show. Who we giving a who'll go army? First to fight for the right. Anyway, we get into today. Hey, first thing first, we're getting into Gary Quarles. Listen, now if you know, you know, right? Gary is no stranger to the SWAC. Now I'm going to say this, and this might be a little shade, but if you're in the portal and you're in the portal to move, and you end up going down the street, I don't think you was as hot as you thought you was. Now, mind you, this was an all SWAC performer, okay? All SWAC conference player, was in the portal, went to UNLV. I think he was a PWO, which is a preferred walk-on, left there, went back into the portal, and is now at Southern as a grad transfer. Right. So now I'm not saying it's a bad move, but we'll get more into it and stuff like that. But here's the film on Gary Quarles. Let's break this down. See what Southern is getting. OK, let's see what Southern is getting. Now, he is pretty small. You know what I'm saying? As we saw right here, 5'6", 165. But we'll see what it looked like as we go along. All right, here we go. Take this banner down. All right, let me move myself to the bottom. All right, so as you know, he is the running back of the situation. Let's get it. Now, I'm going to start off with this. Pass blocking, if you are trying to protect your quarterback, Gary Quarles is not your man, okay? GQ is not your guy. If you're trying to protect him, it's not your guy, right? So as the play goes forward, now the play is designed for him to pick up this guy, right? I wish you guys can see my screen. Let me stop it. Let me see. Share entire screen. All right, boom, boom. Here we go. All right, so you guys should be able to see this. He's supposed to pick up this guy right here. He does not. So as we run it forward, right? As we run it forward, he gets blown up, ends up getting a pick, right? Pass blocking is not my man's strong suit. All right, as we run it forward, right here, gets ran through, Doesn't really get the block. Now, okay, if you want to blame Xavier for not stopping and resetting, okay, you can blame Xavier for that, not stopping his feet right here, squaring up and throwing this ball. But you can also blame Gary Quarles for having a piss poor pass blocking. All right, so that's just not his thing. Once again, Gary Quarles down here at the bottom, pass blocking. You don't want it. You don't want it. Okay, you don't want the smoke. He don't want the smoke. He does enough though. He does enough. But pass blocking is not my man's strong suit. Here we go again. Boom, go. That's actually not a bad pickup for a cross block. You know what I'm saying? To read it, he read it well. You know what I'm saying? He fakes it. He reads it inside out. Boom, he steps up. He does just enough to get there. You know what I'm saying? Stays with it. All right. Here we go again. Now, you might want to say, you know what, Scotty? He didn't do this with a kill. He would have never got a kill killed. Okay, let's play this. Let's let it run. Let's let it run. Dog, that's Olay. That is Olay. Okay, that's Mexico. That's Mexico bullfighting at his best right here. Olay. Oh, that straight whiff. And he clipped him. All right. Olay. All right. One thing I do love about GQ, Gary Quarles, is his shiftiness. His stop and start ability is great. He can get upfield in a quickness, very laterally quick, right? He's one of those guys. He doesn't have that Florida top end speed, right? But in a phone booth, he'll shake you. He'll give you the boom bop in a phone booth, right? Here we go. Stop, boom, hit it, and he's out, right? He won't, do an 80-yard run with his head on the goalpost or nothing like that. But once again, super shifty in space. Boom, stop, boom, in there, touchdown. Or I think he stopped at the 1 right here, right? Just real easy, like bad angle by the defender, by the way. All right, here we go. Just out, shifty. Woo! That was a nasty cut right there. Lord have mercy. He set this up from like back here. Look at this. Step, whoop, got him. Like that's just what GQ is. All right, very shifty back, right? Quick, very quick. Lateral agility is all there. Yeet! Like just real easy, like. All right, it's nothing too hard for GQ. That's something he does very, very, very well. Now, mind you, from what I've been told, this was this year. And he only played 4 games this year due to I believe he had a knee injury or something like that. So he wasn't even 100% in some of these games, but still doing what he's doing right now. Look at that. Just balance, shiftiness, everything, right? Got him. One jump cut, another jump cut, another jump cut. You know what I'm saying? That's just what he does. Like where you really want to get GQ is in space. Gary Quarles is a monster in space. Want to get him in space as best you can. Right, throwing him the ball, however you can get him out in space is look at this, right? Let me go back right here because you probably missed him. He's right here on the line. He's right here as a wide receiver, comes up, great catch. All right, great out in the backfield as well. That's with a kill. Once again, another angle from the running back screen. Here we go again. This is this year against Troy out in space. I mean, like this is what he does. This is what GQ does out in space, right? Same thing here against FAMU. Get loose, whoop, cut. Listen, it's not many times the first guy that gets to GQ is going to in space. It's not too many times the first guy is going to bring him down. That's just not likely. Well, number one was just really bad for FAMU. I ain't gonna lie to you. Well, he was really bad. But out in space, it's 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be the first one to bring him down, right? That's just what he is. So there's good and bad whenever this thing is, but this is how I'll break this thing all the way down, right? So my evaluation, this is Pro Football Focus's grade on him. Very good offensive grades by GQ. Very productive back, especially the year with the kill was absolutely amazing. Had one of his best years yet. With the guys that he had recently, not so much because you weren't really as worried about the passing game as you were with the running attack because they knew everything was going to go through Gary Quarles anyway. So it is what it is. Transfer grade, I gave it a B. Scotty, why did you give it a B? Well, the reason I gave it a B was simply because of the production. I mean, he's been very productive. He's had enough snaps. He's seen the SWAC inside and out. This is a B+ for a transfer grade. He's a vet. All right, this is a grad transfer. He's a veteran in the SWAC. He understands it. He's played against all of these guys. So as a great transfer grade, I'm giving it a B+. As an impact grade, I'm giving it a C-. And you're like, yo, Scotty, how in the freak could you give it a C-? He's not the best running back in the room. If we're talking about impact, right? Like day one impact, he's not even the best guy in this running back room. If I'm being honest, and I made a new category just for him, right? Smart decisions is F. This is the worst possible team to go to if you're a running back. Like, it's dumb. This is like the worst decision in history if you're a running back. If you're not the guy, because let's be real, let's keep it a buck. Gary Quarles leaving A&M opened it up for them to find Eaglin. Eaglin is a better back for them. You get what I'm saying? So they didn't drop off when Gary Quarles walked out the door. They actually, in my opinion, got better for what that team needed with Donovan Eaglin. They needed a bell cow. They didn't need a scat back. They needed a bell cow. That's what Eaglin became, and it ended up being his team, right? So now you have Gary Quarles going to a running back room that is just simply ridiculous. I want you to understand what this running back room looks like. And this is not even everybody. This is just the 4 guys you know of. Kobe Dillon, who went for like 200 and something against one team, is coming back from an ACL injury, I believe. Carl Ligon, the freshman, right, who ran against Jackson State really well. Gerard Sims, who's a monster, who went crazy against JSU, but the simple fact is he messed up his knee in the game and couldn't finish it. And then you got Kendrick Grimes. Like, Kendrick Grimes and Carl Ligon is Gary Quarles. So the thing to me is if you're going to pick a team to go to, how about not go to the team that legitimately has 4 starting running backs in their room, with Gerard Sims being a pro? Like, let's not play this game. Like, if I'm Southern and there's no shot, listen to me what I'm telling you. This is no shot to Gary Quarles. I wouldn't have gave this kid any money. I'm just being honest with you. And what I mean by money is scholarship. There's no possible way I'm giving this kid a scholarship when I have freaking 4 running backs that can, 2 of them do exactly what he does. It doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. So if we're giving out grades for decisions, this is an F. If there's a team, in my personal opinion, that Gary Quarles should have went to, it's Alabama State. He should have went across the highway. If I'm being honest, he should have went up. What is it? 20, 40, 50. He should have took his butt to Alabama State. They lost their best back, Ja'Cory Merritt, right? You should have went to Alabama State. To me, That would have been a way better decision. You would have got a lot more playing time. You know what I'm saying? It just, to me, I just think that would have fit better than going to Southern. I-65, thank you, sir. You know what I'm saying? So I would have took my butt down there if you're going to stay in the SWAC. You know what I'm saying? I would have went to UAPB. If it's about stats, if it's about playing, I'm going to take my butt to UAPB. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. I don't get it. I don't get it. If we talking about smart decisions, it's an F. If I was trying to find an F plus or F minus. I was trying to F it up because this Bama, this made no sense choosing Southern. It made, like, look at these guys, man. These guys are good. They ain't scrubs. Like Kobe Dillon, I like Kobe Dillon more than Gerard Sims. I think Gerard Sims is a better overall back. I just think Kobe Dillon is just a little bit more explosive in my personal opinion. And he can do a lot more because he was a former quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man. Hey, Bishop, listen. You only what they offer you, my boy. You are only what they offer you. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, if we might feel that he group of 5 talent, but if he don't get offered by group of 5, they don't feel he group of 5 talent. That's all I'm saying right there. So, but hey, I wish the best for GQ, you know what I'm saying, and what he could produce at Southern. It just didn't make logical sense to me. All right. Going up to next, Demontrez Brown. 6'3", all right, 204, coming from Troy. Let me bring up his tape. All right. Here we go. Make sure this is right. Nope, that's not it. Got it. All right, here we go. So, yeah, here we go. So, this is Demontrez Brown, 6'3", 204, coming from Troy. All right, yeah, very good height for Alabama State. Very good height guy. Let's get into his tape, shall we? Let me blow this up for you guys. Now, you know, your boy was a former wide receiver. So I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little harsh on my receivers, you know what I'm saying? But here we go. All right. Demontrez is down here at the bottom. Not much tape on him. But I got enough. All right. Got a little wiggle. Got a little wiggle, you know what I'm saying? You know, just got a little wiggle. All right. Here we go again. Listen. Run blocking. This Bama ain't it. Listen. Run blocking. Here he is right here at the in the slot. Listen. Stock blocking is not that hard, right? It really isn't. You're just supposed to you stay there until the guy makes a move, then you cut him off. This Bama don't want the smoke. I'm just telling y'all, he don't want the smoke. Listen, man, this Bama don't want the smoke. I'm just telling you, run blocking. And see, Alabama State is a run-first team. So to me, to have a wide receiver that doesn't block doesn't make much sense to me, right? So here we go again. Here he is, right here. Breaks out, gets up, and this is what I'm talking about. Just a little wiggle here, avoids that, gets upfield. So he does have a little wiggle, right? Does have a little wiggle in his game. Can get his feet out the way. That's half the battle, right? Here he is at the top right here. I love this stem route that he does because there's a film earlier in this game to where they actually ran an out route. Right. So he's just working off of the former route, that concept that they ran. So he stems it out, making it look like he's about to run another speed out. He cuts it in, but watch this. Book, that Bama dropped it. Listen, you talking about Dropsies? Lord have mercy. That Bama, look, let me slow it down for you. Got the guy beat. This is what y'all get in Alabama State. Doo-goop, 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 doo-goop. That Bama straight dropped it. Oh, man. That is against A&M. That is against A&M. It is. It is. It is. It is against A&M, and he had an okay game. Let me just say that. All right. Here he is at the bottom right here. I'm telling y'all, this Bama don't want the smoke when it comes to blocking. Like, come on, man. Like, you gotta do better than this. Now, what if this running back would have got free? What if this running back right here, he spins out of this and he comes this way because your ass don't want to block nobody? Look at this. Whiff. Straight whiff. Man in the backfield. The Bama don't block. All right. The Bama don't block. Let me just say that. The Bama don't block. This is in a bowl game against UTSA. I actually like this play. They throw it back. He's down here at the bottom. They let it go to him. And what does he do again? He drops it. Listen. Here he goes right there. Listen, you can say what you want. That should be caught. Right there, that is a catchable ball. That's a drop. I don't care how you want to. I don't care how you want to sprinkle it. I don't care what excuses you make. That is a drop. If you're supposed to be the guy that they're throwing these to, you got to come down with this ball. You got to come down with that. I'm just saying, got to come down with that. Let me say this, right? There is a couple plays against, and I couldn't grab them. I didn't clip them in time. I apologize, but I want to be in full transparency, right? There's a couple plays against Ole Miss where he's in the slot and he sits a guy down in his route. I'm just talking about he does a out route, breaks down really well, swats the hand off of him, sits him out, comes out of it, and catches the ball and goes down. So his route running is okay. His route running is a little All right, here's his Pro Football Focus. All right. That's his rating. Pretty average. 78 regular season snaps, right? So for me, the transfer grade is a C-. And the reason I gave him a transfer grade of a C- is because, listen, most games have 60 snaps. I just want to be very clear about what I'm talking about this, all right? I want to be very clear why I'm evaluating the way I'm evaluating, so you guys just say I'm not picking a grade up. The kid had 78 snaps. There's usually like 60 snaps in a game, right? So you got it's just not a lot of film there. It wasn't a lot of playing. Right? Wasn't a lot of playing. That really wasn't pass interference because the dude was looking back while the hand was in there. So great excuse. All right. But no. So that's why I gave him a C-, right? Now you're really not going to like the impact grade. It's either a C+ or a D+. And this is why I say this. It's because you still have Demontrez Davis. So it also comes down to the quarterback play because you can get a Demontrez Brown and I think he's a great possession type of receiver. He can stretch the field vertically every now and again. Who's to say he's going to catch it? But he can stretch the field vertically. My issue is that you're also going to ping him if he doesn't get a lot of passes thrown because of Demontrez Davis. That's why I'm saying it could be a D+ based off the quarterback play, right? Or it could be a C+ and he's very impactful. It's just hard for me, right? Because this kid is not better than Jeremiah Hickson. I don't think he's better than Keyshawn Johnson, who is currently on the team, right? So I don't understand, if he is not better than those two, how can he be more impactful than them? I want to be very clear about what I'm saying. You got to listen to what I'm saying now, right? Remember, they are a run first team. This dude does not like to block. That's number one. Number two, he's not better than Jeremiah Hickson, nor is he better than Keyshawn Johnson. In my opinion, how can he be better or be more of an impact than either one of those guys? And they're better. And then at the end of the day, Demontrez Davis is still the quarterback. So I just don't know how impactful this transfer is really going to be. Helpful? Possibly. Impactful? I don't know. Because and I agree with King K. I think Keyshawn Johnson, if with Miles Crawley, could have been a top 5 receiver, easily top 8. But definitely top 5 if he had Miles Crawley for the whole season and Jeremiah Hickson and all them boys. They probably would have got off a lot more than what they did. So, that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I don't know how his hips are, but that's not a bad idea. Could be. That's not a bad idea. All right. And last but not least, picked by none other than Paris. All right. You have Khristian Zachary. Now, it's not too many times you see a black boy with 2 first names. That really threw me off. I was like, when she sent the name, I said, is she spelling this right? Khristian Zachary? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 first names. Like, I'm like, I ain't never seen. But Paris picked. This is a Paris pick. All right, this is a Paris pick. I got to give a shout out to my girl Paris. She keep me up to date on the stuff and everything like that. Let me get this kid's video pulled up. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be a whole buck with y'all. The more I watched the film, the more I wasn't a fan. Now, I'm going to give you my grades, but I'm just going to tell you, just watching this, like, when I first initially saw the film, I was like, whoo. But the more games that I watched, I was like, nah, I'm not. I think he's solid. I'm not going to be like, oh man, he's solid. He's solid. Right? That's how this came off to me. So what I did was I got film from his worst game and I got film from his best game. And I know people like, Scotty, why don't you do that for everybody? Well, a lot of people don't have enough snaps for me to do that. So I have to only go through a couple games that they have like good clips. This guy has a lot of tape. So I could literally pick his worst game and literally pick his best game and kind of mash him up and give you a little bit of everything that I've seen. But let's get to the film. All right, here we go. He's number 77. All right, number 77. Here we go. This play was one of the first plays I watched, and I was like, whoa, I like him. Look how he gets in that backfield, baby. I like it. So, like I said, I had to check myself. You know what I'm saying? Here's another play. Maybe the same play. Let me see. No, it's a different play, right? So you see, this is when I said one of his worst games. He gets moved. All right, we see that he does get moved. It looks like maybe like a slant by the line. right? He gets moved a little bit. I like how he stays square the best he can, gets him off of him, and still tries to find it, tries to run him down. It's still a part of the play somewhat, all right? Here he goes again right here, number 77. Hey, listen. This number 79 was kicking his ass, okay? They're going against Southern Miss right now, and this number 78 or 79 was whooping his ass. All right, here we go. Gets drove back, still fighting, but, I mean, literally gets taken out the play. All right? Yeah, I mean, this is just straight an ass whooping. This is an ass whooping. Ain't no ifs and buts about it. This is an ass whooping. I mean, like, mama, let go of me. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. 77. Right here. That was 78 again. That's a little bit of a hole, but still runs him down, cuts it off, runs it back in, and still makes a play on the ball. Now, this is one of his best games. All right? This is against Gardner-Webb. He's right here at the top. Watch how he plays. Boom. Sticks him up, rides him back. Gotta love that. I'm going to show it to you again. He can play a little inside, can play a little outside. Boom, extends his hands, shoots him. Look what he does to the takes him off the ground. Straight power play, takes him into the backfield. All right. Is that him at the bottom or the top? My bad, guys. I'm sorry. Here he is at the top right here. Boom. Sticks him. Goes right around. Causes the sack. Makes him step up into the sack. Here he goes again right here at the edge rusher. Like his extension is so to be, I think he's about 6'2", 6'3", has really, really long arms. Look how he extends on this tackle and pushes him back into that's pretty. That is pretty right there. Makes him step up right into the sack. Pretty. Very, very, very pretty how he does that. Right? I like this stay square. Look at the extension right here. He's right here. Look at that extension, holds him up, can't move him, stays in the play, makes the tackle. All right, here he is, I believe, at the top right here. Gets to the and misses him. All right, and misses him. But gets to the quarterback, makes a play. Here he goes again, number 77. This is one of my favorite plays by him. I like this duck move that he does. Watch him. They slant, they zone read it. He slides in, right? And then he takes on the tight end as well, pushes him off, stays in the play. Absolutely love that play. Here he goes again. I'm going to show y'all one more time. Swims him, gets inside, gets it. Now, I'm going to show you some film. I didn't get a chance to clip it because I was doing it really fast, but let me see if I have it. And let me show you why I was just like, eh. Now, let me see. All right. So let me show y'all this film. This is against Arkansas. And this is where I was just like, nah, it's not it for me. Right? Here he is, right here, 77. All right. Here he is right here, 77. Play it. Boom. Stonewalled. Now, I get it. It's Power 5. I understand all that. To me, his effort in this entire game was absolutely trash. Stonewall. He still tries to do his extension. He tried to do his patented bull rush. It doesn't work in this game at all. I'm just gonna let the film run because you're just gonna see time after time he doesn't do anything, right? What happened is in this game he got exposed to me because he has no tool belt. He only does bull rushes, right? He only does bull rushes. He tries to get that extension going multiple times, and it just gets stopped every single time. And he doesn't go to anything else. Right? Here he goes right here. This is the beginning of the game. This is the beginning of the game. Look. 1st and 10 is 21-0 for Liberty. This is the beginning of the game. This ain't the fourth quarter. How you talking about fresh bodies? They're up 21-0. That means, come on, man. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me. Like, no, it's no excuse. These are the games you like. The same. See, this is my problem. Let me blow myself up. The same expectations we have of FCS players stepping up in big games, in Power 5 games, right, is the same expectation I expect for him to have being a FBS team going against a Power 5 team. No. Talk about some fresh bodies. Hell no. This is containment. Absolutely. It's containment. But it's not, the whole game is not containment, right? I get that you're trying to keep KJ Jefferson in the pocket. I get it, right? But at some point in time, you got to go make a play. That ain't containment. This ain't containment. You got to go make a play. He gets chipped, right? He gets chipped, boom. But look at this. He has no moves. None. Here he goes again, right here. This is probably his best one all the film. This probably was his best rush. But once again, it's a bull rush. It's no swim move. It's no chop. There's no rip. There's no dip. It's simply extension, power, power, power. That's all he plays with, extension and power. It's a great rush, by the way. But that's all he plays with. If it doesn't work, that's all he has. Here he is again over here. He's going to get chipped. So is that containment? That don't look like containment to me. Because if this is containment, he stays his spot. This ain't containment. That ain't containment. That's somebody trying to make a play. And this D tackle by Liberty was everything. I'm telling you, this dude was kicking this center and this guard's butt all day long. This Bama was so nice. Look at him just sling that Bama around. That's not containment, right? And it was just a lot of that for me. It was a lot of that to me, right? So you guys can make excuses about what you see for him. Like, oh, he's getting chipped. Oh, okay, whatever. But to me, like I said, the more film that I watched, the more I wasn't a fan. I just don't, to me, it screams. All right, let me get to the grades. This is his Pro Football Focus grade. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna tell y'all, when I first saw the grading and I saw this, I said, I think Pro Football Focus is being too hard on him, right? Because I'm like, I love his motor. I love what it, I love this, I love that. And then, like I said, the more tape I watched, the more I understood why his grade is the way it is because it's just It's just right? So transfer grade, I gave a B-. And the reason I gave a B-, he got over he's a 2-year player, And his year in 2022, he had over 200 snaps, right? So he has the game experience to be helpful for Southern in the interior, right? So I gave a B-. Impact grade, I gave a C+. And you got to replace Cam Peterson, right? That's the biggest thing for me. I think Dumas and Cam Peterson, those guys in the middle, were integral parts to what Southern does and did. So replacing those guys with interior linemen that can really go is huge, right? I think having Khristian Zachary in the middle, I think is really impactful. Now, this C+ could easily be a B- or B+ as an impact grade, because I think playing head up against a guard, I don't need you to have too much moves. I would prefer you have a move, right? A chop, swim, a rip, or whatever. But if he wants to bull rush every single time and push the pocket back and smash that A gap up the quarterback's face, by all means, do what you do, because he has the long arms and extension to do so. So this could easily be a B- if he plays, if they can get more out of him and he's more effective, what he could do. Scotty Liberty was a top 20 last year. Does that speak volumes? I think their defense was amazing. I was watching some of the plays against Arkansas. Their defense was absolutely amazing. It really was. They had a D tackle, man. I think his name was like 90, 91, or 92, and that boy was a monster. So do I think it helps individually? No. Team award, absolutely. But individually, I don't think it helps, because, I mean, you could have a bad, right? Like, let me give you a good example. Shiloh. Shiloh has been the weakest link on Jackson State secondary for the past 2 years. It doesn't stop their defense from being good. He's just the weak link, and everybody knows it, right? So it's like, how much helpful is that? Like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Like, yes, like, yeah, your team is ranked number 1. Your team is this and that. Individually doesn't make you good. So individually, he's average. His team as a totality was really good, right? So you gotta take, when you're talking about an individual player and a transfer like him individually, I don't think he's special. Individually, I don't think he's special. I think he's solid. I think adding him to your interior line is not going to hurt at all. And I think if he can get that, if he keeps his motor high and they can keep him, if they can keep that motor high on him, keep him fresh, I think he can be really impactful. I really do. But if they just leave him out there to sink and swim, I just think you're going to get an average guy. I think you're going to get an average guy. I think the smart pickup for Southern kid has played in big moments. He can only improve from here. Absolutely, but it takes a lot of coaching too. It takes some improved coaching. It takes some defensive line techniques. It takes him working with a D-line coach to really get, his game together, add more tools to his tool belt, right? Because let's be honest, I said the same thing about Niles Gaddy. I'm like, Niles Gaddy has to get more in his tool belt. So when you see these guys coming into the SWAC and doing these things, like, you got to have more tools in your tool belt. You gotta be able to chop, swim, rip, dip. You got to be able to do more. You have to be able to do more. And this is the thing for me. If you think an FBS program like Liberty, who has way more resources and available to them than Southern, and they couldn't develop him, how in the blue hell do you think Southern's going to develop him? You just lost your D-line coach who went to Ohio State. So explain to me, who the hell is Southern developing? Bama's budget don't even compare to Liberty. What are we talking about right now? Liberty probably got 60 coaches on staff. Bama's got 10. But you talking about you out here developing somebody. Now you got me worked up. If you really want to talk development, you need to talk to Dooley about why he on the transfer portal, picking up every quarterback in the portal. Develop Noah Biden. Develop one of the freshmen that are coming in. How about you spend time developing them? How about that? Talking about development. Who has Southern developed under Dooley? Nobody. McCray didn't get developed. Trey Lang was what he was. Dumas was what he was. I mean, look, what we talking about right now, man? Who has Southern developed? It's only 1 year and Bama still ain't developed nobody. And you can tell by him going into the portal for quarterbacks, they still ain't trying to develop nobody. That's crazy to me. He's supposed to be an offensive guy, and he's out there grabbing any quarterback on the street. But he can't, but he won't develop the two freshmen he got coming in. You got Noah Biden, you got Harold Blood, who's been in the system for 2 years. He's about to be in the system for 2 years. You don't want to develop him. You stole Noah from Grambling, right? Well, they let him go, so you didn't really steal him. He been in your system for a whole year. He's still not developed. You done kicked him to the side. You got two freshmen coming in who are explosive, especially Zay. And you're still trying to find transfer portal quarterbacks. God, Devontae Kincaids are not going to fall from the sky. Okay? Like, come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous. When you got Willie Totten there, is he not supposed to be developing somebody? What's the point of bringing in Willie Totten if you're not going to try to develop one of these quarterbacks? It don't make sense. And y'all talking about, oh, he developed. Man, y'all ain't developing nobody. Y'all not developing nobody at Southern. Stop it. Stop it. Y'all really got me going. Okay. You're talking about development. You can't, your coach can't even evaluate. Your coach can't even evaluate. By the 5th game of the season, everybody knew Bashawn McCray ain't that guy. I did a whole film breakdown about how Bashawn McCray wasn't that guy. And now all of a sudden, we developing out here. He can't even evaluate, but we developing. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. He transferred from Ole Miss. Kincaid was an Ole Miss transfer. Hey, it's nothing personal, Mr. Gregory. I appreciate you. I just want to be, I need Southern people to be, see, I remember why I used to get on y'all butt so much, because now y'all bringing it back. I see why I call y'all Southern the powerhouse, right? Because it don't make sense how you talking. You're talking as if like you didn't backdoor your way into a championship game and almost got blown out because of Dooley. You almost got blown out because of Dooley's stubbornness to go back to Bashawn McCray. Listen to how dumb this is. You put McCray in the game. He gets a turnover. You take McCray out the game. You put Blood in the game. He fumbles. You put McCray back in the game. And he does another turnover. But this is supposed to be the guy that you think is developing. Listen, if Hugh Jackson didn't trip and fall and bump his head at the Bayou Classic, you Bamas would have got rained out the gym. Are you kidding me right now? But Sean McCray was the MVP of the Bayou Classic with like 90 yards. Like, what are we talking about right now? Get out of your delusion. Let's keep it a whole buck right now. Y'all not like that. If it wasn't for your defense, it damn sure wasn't because of your offense. Let's keep it a buck right now. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, my God. Oh, come on, man. Stop it. You Bamas are bugging today. Southern fans is, y'all Bamas is tripping, man.
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
That's how sorry the game was. That's how, listen, the quarterback that your head coach was ranting and raving about how he the guy kept putting him out there. This Bama can't even find an offer. I don't even think he got offered by a D2 school as a quarterback. Man, y'all gotta be playing me. Y'all gotta like stop. Like, man, listen, it's Memorial Day, not April Fools. Okay, stop playing with me right now. Development. That's what people from Southern talking about. Oh, we're going to develop. You ain't developed. No, the only thing you're developing is film. Okay, in a very dark room. Stop it. Okay, stop it. Let's not. Let's really not. So I'm so curious to see what Southern looks like, because you can't go back, right? See, this is the problem with what you backdooring your way into a championship, right? It's because now you have an expectation. So if Dooley backdoor his way into championship last year, you're like, oh, we got to be a championship team this year. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And you weren't supposed to be a championship team last year. So now I want to see what you look like without a quarterback. Because right now, me personally, I think Zay should be the starter. Either Harold Blood or Zay should be your day one starter. I would go with Harold. And if Harry, whatever his name was, if he can't get it done, I'm going with Zay, and I'm going to ride out with the freshman. Because why, Southern? Is because you have too many stables at running back that I don't even have to put pressure on my quarterback. You got enough Bamas, including Gary Quarles, right? You got enough running backs that all you're going to ask Zay to do is maybe throw the ball 15 times. Play action and throw the ball. That's it. You might as well call Dawson Odoms up and say, hey, Dawson, can I get your playbook? Because that's what it should look like. That's what it should look like. Period. But let Dooley tell it he want to come out there and run 4 verticals every play. Okay, run 4 verticals every play and see how that works for you. That's all I'm saying. And if we're being even more honest, Southern should be the favorite going into the Jackson game, right? Way more continuity. Half the team was coming back. So you should be the favorite walking into that game. So if you lose that game, it just really lets me show you. Nah, okay, but I'm whatever. But let me not put no expectation on Dooley, because I don't want y'all Bama's talking about, oh, Scotty. No. Y'all won the West, right? Y'all won the West, right? So have the expectation. You're supposed to have the expectation. That's all I'm saying. So let's not play these games. I just want to be very clear. So, boy, I'm telling you, Southern, y'all don't get back on my shit list. I'm telling you, I've been very beneficial to have Jackson at the top of my shit list. You know what I'm saying? My hit list goes Jackson and Southern. You can be a close 1B. Do not play with me right now talking about some develop. Okay. Hit him with that Ja Morant. Man. Stop playing, man. Stop playing. Yeah. Woo! Don't get me started. Are we talking about the same Dooley that got shut out by Texas Southern? Are we talking about that same team that couldn't score against Texas Southern? That Andrew should have put 50 on y'all, but they started running the ball in the third quarter? Are we talking about that same Texas? We talking about that same Southern team? That team? Come on, man. Don't play with me. Stop playing. Stop playing. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on, man. Stop it. Let's not play this game. Let's not play this game. I mean, like, let's not. I'm just. Let me see. Dooley over Odoms. Okay, you know what? Let me say this. There's one reason why I would prefer Odoms over Dooley. And hear me out when I say this. And any Southern fans, if you guys want to call in and debate with me, I'll happily debate. There is nothing that Dooley does that makes him exceptional. I'm going to say this again. Listen very carefully to what I'm talking to. I want y'all to hear me. There's nothing that Dooley does that makes him exceptional. Dawson Odom's run game and running attack, superb. I used to, and anybody who remember me back in my early days, I would say, if you run the ball, you can't, because Southern does it 10 times better. If you think you can run the ball, you can't, because Southern does it 10 times better. The creativity that Southern had when it came to running the ball was exceptional, immaculate, right? The development of the offensive linemen under Odoms, once again, immaculate, exceptional. You can get mad that he never beat Alcorn. You can get mad he lost multiple swags. You can get mad at all that. I understand you. I get it. Once again, it's not a problem. I don't think there's a problem being Michigan, right? FAMU is in that boat right now, right? You can get mad at you can get mad at Willie Simmons for not going to SWAC championships or MEAC championships, but he makes you relevant every time you step into a new season. I would rather live with a coach that gets me close every year and lose than a coach that never gets me there. Because you never know, it could be that 1 year that he breaks through and now we in the championship game, right? I'll take that anytime. I'll take a coach that makes me competitive over a coach that makes me look like I'm in purgatory, right? So what I'm saying to you is this. There is nothing that Dooley does that makes him accept. There's nothing that when you walk into a game against Dooley is like, oh man, we really got to watch out for this. It's nothing. He's supposed to be an offensive-minded guy. There is nothing about his offense that you're just like, whoo, man. We really gotta worry about this today. And it's not. So to me, I just have to go with Odoms off the simple fact of Odoms is exceptional in the running game. Now, you can get mad that he didn't pass it. You can get mad at all, but what he did, he does very well, and he does it at a very high level. And he made Southern relevant. He made Southern Every year, Southern was in the race to go to the SWAC championship. Every year. And to me, that is Dooley's floor. Congratulations. His first year, he goes to the SWAC championship. That should not be. Odom is not a defensive coach. Like, that just shows you how dumb you sound, right? Odom's defense was horrible. He's not a defensive-minded coach. That's why you hire a D coordinator. So what? Okay, Dooley's offense was trash. He's an offensive-minded guy, and his offense was trash. Make it make sense. Somebody make that make sense. I don't get it. Didn't look like it to me. Because if I'm being honest, and if then that's bad. I ain't gonna hold you. If that's the case, then that's just bad. If he's a DC and your defense is trash, then he should. I think Dooley should go. I think Odom should go over to the offensive side of the ball because I just think that he's a better offensive-minded guy, right? But if that's the case, then I can't speak for y'all on that. I can't speak for Odom on that one. He just trashed it. But I can speak for Dooley. Dooley just as bad as offensively. So what you talking about? That might be the same. So literally you hire the same coach. We hire a defensive coach that the defense is bad. We hire an offensive coach and our offense was bad. Is that not the same thing? Is that not the same thing? Dooley was trash on offense. Dooley's offense was trash. Is that not the same thing? So you clearly are hiring the same people. Come on, serve. Come on, serve. Against Texas Southern and like bro, dog, like PV, come on, man. PV put up 40 points and all they did was run the ball. They threw the ball like 5 times and put up 40 points. You guys went against Texas Southern and couldn't score a point. Come on, bro. What we talking about? What we talking about? Stop it. If your offensive coordinator and your excuse is I need a quarterback, dog, Bubba McDaniels went ham against the #1 defense in the SWAC. So that tells you had a quarterback. Listen, man. Listen, bro. Hold on. People are texting me. Let me, because I got a lot of people texting me. They hit me up with some stuff. Let me see. All right, so my thing is this, right? You're talking about offenses. Bubba McDaniels, if you just took the points that Bubba McDaniels scored against Jackson, he wins the game. If you don't take the points off a turnover from McCray and Blood, Southern wins the game just off of what Bubba produced in 3.5 quarters, maybe 3 quarters. Yeah, 3 quarters. What Bubba produces wins you the game. So that clearly tells you against the #1 defense that Bubba McDaniels was an actual quarterback. So what are we talking about right now? Talking about Dooley needed a quarterback. He had a quarterback on staff. He had a quarterback in the waiting. He was just so enamored with McCray and Boy, if I find these slides, y'all Bama's gonna be in trouble. If I find these slides, y'all Bama's gonna be in trouble. Where are my slides about Bashawn McCray? If I find these slides, y'all Bama's gonna be in trouble because y'all think shit is sweet today, and I got time. I got time. Boy, y'all better not hope I find these slides. I got so many. Let me see. Ooh. Let me see. Is this it? Oh, perfect. I found it. Oh, I found it. Let me go. Just to remind y'all. Because y'all think stuff is sweet. Yeah, and y'all really talking about, oh my God, he needed a quarterback. I got time today. Oh, let's not forget. Please, let's not forget. Please, let's not forget. Don't play with me. Do not play with me. Against JSU, 9 of 26. Against FAMU, 8 of 20. Against Grambling, 7 of 17 for 75 yards. Do not play with me today. I got time. Stop it. Don't play with me. And this is your offensive guy. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Hey, 4802 coming to you.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty?
What's up, sir?
All right. So I've never actually talked about how certain fans call themselves a powerhouse before. And quite honestly, I really think they are. Because they've, like, as far as I've known my whole life, they've always been consistently good. So I try not to talk trash about them. But I do not think that Dooley has done enough to be considered better than Odom. Because he pretty much got, like, the same result in his first year. And, like, with Odom, you always knew they were going to be there. You just didn't know if they would win the game against Alcorn.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can really just say Dooley is better, especially with how bad the offense was last year. So that's my take on it.
No, and I think that's fair. And that's why I said the SWAC championship is the floor for Dooley. You get what I'm saying? Because you knew that it was going to come down to Southern Alcorn every year, right? You knew that.
Yeah.
So you knew you were going to be in the championship game, regardless if you won or lost. The whole fact is you want to beat. Like, I can't stand when people are like, man, we need a new coach because we can't win it. Bro, you're there. You never know. Like, you get what it's different if you get there 1 year, you don't go back another 3 years, you get there another year, and then you lose. You get what I'm saying? But if you're going to be there every year, that keeps you relevant. I don't understand it. So to me, Dooley got to go back to the championship game consistently.
So my take with Dooley, I think coming into this year, is the West is going to be better this year, in my opinion. And I think you got to have a balanced offense if you want to beat McNair. I think that's going to be the game to watch again. I don't know if he could pull it off twice if he can't do anything with that offense. Because McNair, he's pretty much returning everybody, and he's holding up a new scheme.
Yeah.
He's going to be tough to beat. So
we'll see, man. I agree with you. I think the West has gotten better. I mean, the only team that is kind of like in purgatory is UAPB at this point in time right now. I just think that's going to be just like it's whatever. But think about it. You got Texas Southern, you got Grambling, you got Alcorn, you got Prairie View. That's 4 solid teams that you're going to have to see. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Every game. And I don't think there's going to be any gimmies other than the UAPB game. So we'll see how it goes. And if he has quarterback problems again, oh yeah, it's gonna be a long year. It's gonna be a really long year.
Yeah. Hey, don't be too hard on those guys.
Oh no, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't. Hey, appreciate it, sir.
No problem.
Listen, man, I'm gonna just leave this up here for all you Dooley offensive guys out there in the world. Like, this is what you kept trotting about out there every single game. This is what you kept trotting out. Oh, we just trot him out again. Oh, just trot him out again. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? Stop it. Let's not. Stop. Come on, man. Stop it. That man, in 4 games, that man threw for 248 yards. In 4 games. Listen to me. In 4 games, that Bama threw for 248 yards. Okay. That should tell you that. So you knew. How much y'all paying Dooley? Y'all paying Dooley like $400,000, $300,000, $400,000? I know you probably ain't making $400,000, right? You probably ain't making that. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? You probably ain't making 3 or 4. But you knew. Make that make sense. I'm not getting paid $400,000, $300,000. He getting paid $300K. I'm not getting paid $300K, and I knew he wasn't it. You not getting paid $300K. You knew he wasn't it. So how are you paying a guy $300,000 and he can't tell you or figure out that Bashawn McCray ain't the answer? Somebody got to make that make sense to me. Anybody. Somebody. Woo! Paying somebody $300K and they can't tell you that their quarterback ain't the guy. Got it. Seems like money well spent to me. Seems like money well spent. But I tell you, see, Southern, y'all don't get me going. Please don't get me going. I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be nice. Whew. Anyway, that's been my time on these transfer evaluations. What's up, KP?
Wow, what's up, man? What's going on, bro?
You tell me. What? Somebody got to make this make sense to me.
I'm gonna try to put a little spunk on it, man, between the Odoms and the Dooley comparison. So my take, this is just my opinion.
Okay.
And I watched the game. So Odoms, man, he was consistent he was inconsistent if it doesn't make sense from what I'm saying, but I'll go a little deeper. The dude got us to the championships, no doubt about it. The fact of it was he wasn't developing players either. If you look at the last few quarterbacks he had Skelton. That was a experiment went wrong. Now, I would say the quarterback he did develop was the Austin Howard guy. Dooley, on the other hand, people seem to forget PV offense was always in the top 2, if not the top offense in the SWAC under Dooley, when he was at PV. So that's my only. I would put him above Odoms in that category. When Southern played Prairie View, it wasn't like a cakewalk. We knew we had to bring out defense. They put up points against us, and at times we had a solid defense.
Hey, KP,
so that's my take.
KP, it's not making any sense to me right now, right? Because Dooley might have had the top some offense, but he wasn't in the SWAC championship every other year.
Due to the fact he didn't have a defense to match his offense. His offense puts up points. At one point, I think the people was averaging like 35 points a game. So the defense is giving up the same amount. Because Southern was putting up 35 when we would play their games. And some of the games are on YouTube. You can go back and look at the games.
We
would put. Go ahead.
KB, which one sounds worse to you? An offensive guy is putting up 35 points, or a defensive guy who isn't an offensive guy, his team is putting up 35 points against you? Which one sounds worse to me? To me, it's Odoms putting up 35 points, and he's not an offensive-minded guy.
Both of them sound trash, honestly. It's tomato. And I don't give no one a big edge over. I give Dooley the edge because I've seen him with the quarterback in his office when he was on a Prairie. I've seen how he can control the offense and how he can control the game. I've seen that dude have a caliber of an offense. Now, this first year of his, I can't say that he did a good job as far as the offensive rank, but I've seen him going back from when he was in Prairie View. He had some weapons. I would say that he had some weapons, and he did what he had to do.
What did he?
Go ahead.
What did he? He's never won a SWAC championship as a head coach. What are we talking about right now?
But no excuses. I'm not making no excuse. Now he's in the West, so he's playing. He's going to get Grambling. That's when they had the Kincaid years. He's got a Southern. He had the Willie Quinns, the Lenore Tilleries. Those two top teams he don't have a defense to stop those offense. That's why he couldn't make it to the championship. If he had a defense, somewhat of a defense, he has to stop Gramblin's offense and he has to stop Southern's offense. Preview never had a defense when he was at Preview.
A&M didn't have
that's why
A&M didn't have a defense. And Alabama A&M didn't have a defense. They just be outscoring Bamas.
Correct. I agree with you on that. But they never won a championship.
They did. They won it in the spring.
Scotty, we counting that, man?
They put it in the record book, so I got to count it too.
But the fact is, go ahead.
I just don't understand, to me, right, that the one time that, and let's be real, the time that Dooley, the perfect storm happened for Dooley. His schedule was absolute garbage the year that he went to the SWAC championship. He played none of the big boys. He didn't play Jackson. He didn't play Fam. And I don't even think he played. I know he played Southern because that's what that game is what got him the head coaching job at Southern because of how bad he beat Rollins. But he didn't even play any of the big boys that year, right? So he literally walks through the West and then goes into the championship game. Plays a hell of a championship game, by the way. I think if Paz didn't walk in like Stevie Wonder, that maybe would have been he could have won that game. But that it was a perfect storm for him to get the Southern job because any other time he hadn't done anything at PV.
Okay, Scott, let me ask you this. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Go ahead.
That season that he made it to the championship, who had the best offense that season in the SWAC? Would you say PV was top 3 offense in the SWAC in his championship run?
Yeah, I'll say top 3. I'll give you top 3.
And what he had a quarterback and he had a running back. He had like a little scat back.
Hey, Diddy and Brooks was nasty. Yeah, I like that kid.
That's my point. When he gets a quarterback under his tutelage, he's dangerous, man. I've seen this dude. He just he didn't have a defense, and this is my opinion. Other people can disagree, but I'm just saying from a real football personnel, he had to go against Southern.
Let me throw it back to
and
you.
The Gremlins.
Let me throw it back to you. Alcorn, right? They have gone through. I think if we're talking about coaching, I think Fred McNair is the best coach on the planet when it comes to SWAC coaching or whatever. Because why? Because of all the quarterbacks that he's gone through and the consistency hasn't dropped off. The backup just comes right in and plays. That's called development. That is called getting it's a next man up philosophy. And I don't believe Dooley believes in that. I believe Dooley is a next transfer philosophy instead of actually developing the guys underneath of him to put them in place, right? Because you had the Noah Johnson kid, and then Noah gets hurt. Felix comes in, keeps it running. You get what I'm saying? Felix goes out, they get a guy. I think the only reason that the guy they brought in for a transfer is because they tried to do something that he wasn't capable of doing. But even the guy before Noah Johnson, that's how Noah got his job, right? Guy went down, Noah gets his job. Noah goes down, Felix gets his. That is just a next man up philosophy. And to me, that is developing of quarterbacks. Dooley cannot call himself an offensive mind when you got to find the perfect piece to the puzzle every single time. You got to find the perfect piece every single time. What coaching are you really doing?
Well, I don't know how he did his quarterback recruiting at PV, but I would say I would give him a little rope with this situation because at Southern, he don't have time to develop a freshman. He has to win tomorrow. So him trying to develop a freshman can take some games. He can take some L's. He knows he needs to win tomorrow. And he needs to the only way I see them freshmen getting into the game is off injury. Or they could have a hell of a fall. He don't have time to, like the old days, you had time to sit a freshman, you could develop. Those days are gone. That's not even with Southern program. That's with pretty much your top tier programs. You have to come in and get somebody in to know the system to bring W.
I think that's a bad philosophy. I really do, because I think if Zay comes in, because one, you don't have a guy, right? You usually do that if, like, let's say, give you a good example. Let's say Andrew Body was in his senior year, and then you got Zay coming in for his freshman year. Okay, yeah, you the guy after Andrew dips, you the guy, right? Cool. But you don't have no guy. You don't have a guy. And to me, if Zay comes in and just pure athleticism and just like, hey, he's talented, if you're like, yo, This kid is just talented than everybody else. We got to ride and live and die with the freshman's mistakes, because to me, that's high-level coaching. When you do the best you can to minimize the freshman mistakes, but at the same time, I'm going to use his ability to get to where we need to go, right? So as the season goes along, he gets more and more comfortable with the game plan and what we're doing. That's high-level coaching, because in my personal opinion, I believe Zay is talented enough to throw the ball 15. Listen, man, let me go back to these Bashawn McCray stats. Bashawn McCray was a junior or whatever. He threw the ball 17 times against Grambling for 75 yards. I think Zay can do better than that.
I'm with you 100%.
You see what I'm saying?
On your side on
so
that.
you're not, if we're being honest, you're not really asking much of a freshman quarterback. If in the last 4 games, McCray threw for 85, 88, 75 yards and -3 yards. And in what, 2 of those games, I think, did you lose to FAMU? Y'all lost to FAMU, right? So you beat Grambling, you lost to FAMU. It was a close game. It's not like you got blown out. It was a close game. So it's just like, to me, I value, if you're an offensive-minded guy, you should be able to take a talented guy and be able to mold an offense that fits his talents. And I don't think that a lot of coaches in this day and age want to do that, and they just want like a surefire piece that fixes the issue right now. Now, if you want to get a 1-year guy, get him in, do what you do, and then have Zay take over. But I think the best bet is to give Zay the reins early, so then you know what you got for the rest of the 3 years that you're rolling with. You're like, yo, Zay's our guy. We got a backup. But da-da-da-da-da. So that's just my personal opinion. Because I think you see more and more freshmen at the Power 5 starting. So you telling me a freshman can't start in the SWAC? Get out of here, bro. Come on, man.
I like to take. I'm with you 100%. I'm not saying you wrong. I ain't saying I'm right. I'm just saying what my opinion is and what I'm thinking that he may be thinking. So let me ask you, I'm going to counter and ask you this. The year he won, not won, but the year he went to the SWAC championship with Pass.
Yeah.
PVQB. You take Pass and put him in the system, in Southern system last year. What's Southern record? Does Southern run the table?
I mean, y'all go
it's no McCray.
No, y'all go back to the SWAC championship.
That's my point is my point I'm making is, if Dooley has a quarterback, he's a hard dude to beat. His offense is not stuttering. That's my point. This year is stuttered. If he has a quarterback that can understand what he wants to get done, I think it's sky's the limit.
To me,
that's what I was saying.
This is the thing. It doesn't make you a great offensive guy. If your offense lives and dies with one player, you're not that guy. Like, the reason people love Kyle Shanahan in the 49ers is because it doesn't matter what quarterback he has, he's successful. That makes him an offensive genius. It doesn't make you an offensive guy when you live and die with one position. That doesn't make sense. You can't call yourself an offensive guy when you're like, man, if I had a quarterback, I would be a lot better. Like, no, you go and you manipulate the offense to fit what you do well, and you limit the mistakes by your guy. Early in the season, Dooley should have known McCray wasn't the answer. He should have gone to somebody else. That's what would have made him a smart coach. Like, hey, man, he just ain't got it. I'm trying to throw the ball. He can't really make the throws and the reads like that. Let's go with somebody else. Let me give somebody else. Blood did really well against Valley. He should have kept the reins and rolled it out. Or you went with Bubba McDaniels, but anybody is better than McCray, and you constantly saw that, but he didn't go away from it. So to me, you can't call yourself an offensive guy if you live and die with one position. Man, if I would have had a running back, I would really be great. Come on, man. You can't say stuff like that, bro.
I'm with you 100%. So let me ask you this. So with your same logic, so you start Zay. Zay is pretty much, I would say, he has better talent than McCray. They might be talented-wise even. So if Zay goes through the bumps and bruises that McCray did last year, we're in the same boat, right? We pretty much in the same boat that we were with.
The only way you're in the same boat is if you see Zay can't make the throws. That is listen. I'm not saying Bashawn McCray wasn't a talented young man with his feet. He was super talented. Like, should have put his butt at slot receiver, right? But when you notice a guy can't make the throw, then that's when you like he did not go through his progressions. I can show you film after film after film that he didn't go through his progressions. At least if you get Zay and you limit, you're like, hey, you see it in the fall, like, hey, he's a freshman, he can't go through progressions right now. Then you limit the playbook and give him 2 routes. All right. Then you see if he can make the throw, because there were some throws that McCray couldn't make just because he couldn't anticipate them. He could. I mean, I can show you windows of people being open. He just doesn't make the throw. So there's a lot of variables to me that you have to check off before you throw Zay to the side and say, bro, like this man can't play quarterback, right? So to me, it's not just saying if he's just like McCray, because there's a lot of variables with McCray that made him that bad. But I think if Zay has the talent enough to make throws, I can live with him being a freshman and learning on the fly. Or go with Blood, he's a seasoned guy, and then roll with him. You know what I'm saying? And just build the offense around what he does well. Like, that's the whole key about making players great. When you bring in, and I'm going to keep going back to Kyle Shanahan, when he got Brock Purdy, you can't do what Trey Lance does. It's not the same thing. And he can't do what Jimmy G does. It's not the same thing. So you have to build the offense around what your player does well. And a lot of teams in the SWAC, not just Dooley, they don't do that. And that is my frustration with a lot of these so-called offensive-minded guys who don't build around your talent. You just say, this is what we run and we're going to run it. It don't make sense. And that's why you see Shedeur being so successful. Why? Because his dad said, my son does this. We're going to do that. And that's what makes him great. So I just think it is what it is.
I feel you, man. I have no disagreement with what you said. I'm on board with what you said. I feel it. Good show, bro. Keep it up, man. Man, you need to do some old school breakdowns of some past SWAC players too, man. Highlight those guys that, not the ones that's in the 70s and 80s, just like the ones that's in the late 2000s. Just kind of show shine on them guys, so we won't be having to.
Yeah, send me some, like, just if somebody has an idea, just text it to me. Like, I got the text number.
Yeah, like your Willie Quinns, your Kincaids, your Carters, some other cats, Dan Williams from Jackson, for sure.
Yeah, I would love to do that, man. That's dope. I would love to do that. So get some oldie but goodies. Yeah, just send me the names.
Yes, sir.
I just got into the SWAC 3 years ago, so don't be, I ain't. If you in the 3
I got you, boy. I got you, baby.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Man, keep up the good work, man. You have a good night, man.
You too, KP. Hey, man, listen, man. Y'all don't hold me accountable for people 10 years ago. I just got in here. You know what I'm saying? I literally just got into the space. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still a newbie. All right. Coach Green, coming to you.
What's up, man?
What's up, Coach Green?
Hey, I think the other thing is, though, you got to look at, this might be the first time since Dooley been a head coach that he might have an opportunity to coach a freshman to being a quarterback. Because you look at all the years he's been a head coach, because he came to PV in 2018.
I'm new in the space, so maybe.
Oh, he came in 18, 19, and Moulton was already there when Dooley got there. But he did get him to understand his philosophy of how he wanted his offense ran, and he just ran it. He ran it good offensively because, they was like one of the highest scoring offenses. So this might be the first time you might be able to judge on what he actually does with a quarterback from freshman all the way up to their senior year. Because you gotta look at it. He haven't had a freshman quarterback to coach like that.
Well, I mean, one, you got it would be hard for me to say he never got a freshman guy. You get what I'm saying? Because you had Connolly. You had Connolly since you got. I do know this for a fact. You've had Connolly since he got at PV. He had Connolly, right? So you never developed him or gave him an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You just kept bringing in transfer portal, transfer guy, and then Conley's the guy now. You get what I'm saying? So I agree with you. We'll see what he does with Zay, because I don't think Zay is a talent. Zay has too much of a name around Southern for him just to sit on the bench. That just, you get what I'm saying? He's a local kid. He's a high value recruit going to a local university. Like, that kid can't just sit on the bench. Like, he has to be really bad to just sit on the bench.
And then just the other thing you got to look at too, man, you know, who the quarterback coach, because this is the first time in a while that he got somebody that's like been there, done that, like Willie Totten.
I mean, listen, man.
Because it's based off.
Go ahead. Finish your point.
Go ahead. No, I think because you know, this is the first time him and Totten worked together. So now he got somebody that gonna be in his ear. Because last year, the guy that was in his ear probably actually played what was young, and this is an older guy.
Listen. Willie Totten is a HBCU legend. Okay, HBCU legend. I will. There's nothing he hasn't done and seen in the HBCU. But I have to be honest. Who has he developed?
Well, you know, he found Glass, so
that is true. Glass. That is true. I said develop. I ain't saying no. Recruit is one thing. He did not develop Glass. Let's be like that's like he found him. I'll give you that. He did find Glass, got him to A&M, and he's had a hell of a career. So he saw the potential in Glass. He did not develop Glass because Glass was not a day one crazy starter. That was a 5-year project that in the last 2 to 3 years, they got the most value out the product. So, you know what I'm saying? So outside of Glass, you have to go back to Willie and say, who has he developed, right? Who has he developed? Because you could say with Willie, you could say, I don't know if you can say he developed Ryan Stanley, but Ryan Stanley looked pretty damn good underneath Willie Simmons. And then you come in, you got Musa. Musa's looked really damn good. McNair, Noah Johnson, Felix Harper.
I'm putting it like this. At Valley, I don't know because I really didn't follow Valley like that. And Totten was at Valley 2 different times.
I just think my thing is, though, Coach Green, is like this. The one thing that we can always say about Valley, and let's keep it a buck real quick. We've always, like, the times that I've watched Valley, we're always like, man, you always grade Valley on the curve because of what they have to go through just to put a team on the field, right? So you're always like, always rooting for them, like, come on, man, like, y'all got it. So we wouldn't even grade the talent at Valley harder than we would. Like, a lot of people didn't know Ronnie Thomas until me and Blue started talking about him. I started talking about him after the FAMU game. I'm like, yo, who's this Ronnie Thomas kid? He's amazing, right? And then you have a dude like Kenneth Martin, who was a safety, who was amazing as well. And then you got Caleb Johnson. So, like, you root for those players from Valley because you know what they go through. So, to me, I'm looking at it like this. If Willie Totten would have had a quarterback that looked the part, like when you see him on tape, you're like, whoo, man, that boy can spin it. Woo, that man can really do this. That boy can do this. You would have gave Willie credit just for finding the kid. So I'm asking y'all this. Who did he even find at Valley? That's half the battle right there, is just finding a kid. He had a kid. Let me say this. He had a kid named Quincy Ivory, 6'3", 215, and he couldn't get on the field. Now the kid, he went, and this is what I'm talking about, development. Listen to what I'm telling you. The kid went to JUCO in Cali. They turned him to a defensive end. Now he's being recruited by Florida. That is called development, right? You either see it, and he played quarterback at the JUCO. They mixed him up between DN and quarterback. So what I'm saying to you is who has he found? Just found in Valley. Just like, hey, ooh, that kid looks talented. Because at Alcorn, we can give McNair we can give him oodles of praises because of the consistency at the quarterback position and the lack of drop-off even when a guy goes down and steps up.
Well, only thing I know is quarterbacks he found at A&M. I ain't really paid attention to, because most of all the quarterbacks they had was transfers, and Jelani Jones, Goodman.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Shoot, the freshman kid you talked about, they ain't really like put him out there.
They didn't give him a chance.
No, and that's not on the quarterback coach. That's on how the head coach feels probably on that. And Dancy probably didn't want to go that direction.
And let's be honest, let's keep it a buck. It wasn't like the Nelson kid, or what was his name? The kid that was playing last year. Let's not act like he was just lighting it up, because if it like he really wasn't. So it's like you could at least gave the freshman a chance to see what he could do. You know what I'm saying? I think they had the Jabari kid, the Jamari Jones. Jamari Jones came in. He did his thing every now and again. So, it's just like, I'm not saying finding a quarterback is easy, because it's not. I'll be the first one to tell you it is not, because there's so many variables to just playing the position. Like, how is he with the pressure, and is he a winner? Does he galvanize his teammates? It's so many things that are like the intangibles of a quarterback. A lot of people don't talk about that stuff, but like, I'm telling you, the one thing I loved about seeing Shedeur is that he worked like if he had nothing. Like, that's the one thing when I saw that kid before the game against A&M out there throwing flies and running and throwing, I'm like, yo, this kid works like he doesn't have anything. And I just love the mentality that he has of just wanting to be great. And I think there's so many things like that you got to notice from like quarterbacks. You got to pick up on that to say that they're good. Like, even with Andrew, and I shout out to Coach Green for finding Andrew Body from Texas Southern against the Rice game. But like, just having that mentality to be like, yo, like, I'm not going to lose, like, or I'm going to change the culture here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a mindset. You get what I'm saying? Like, that takes a certain type of person to do those things, to go to Texas Southern, know that you're talented, know you could dip and say, nah, I want to build my own legacy here of turning this program around. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you become a KJ Black, where you're immortalized at PV because you won the SWAC championship. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you become one of those legends. You know what I'm saying? So
I say this, by him being at Southern, more of a school that's built on the standard, maybe we get a chance to finally see what he actually could do. I put it like that. And then another thing you was talking about, coaches in HBCU not building their offense around the quarterback. But there's a lot of coaches that do that. Chip Kelly, one of them. You saw how long it took before he finally found the right quarterback, and UCLA actually started looking good.
I'm not saying Chip Kelly's a great offensive mind. I'm not saying that. I think he runs it. Listen, he runs a certain system, and listen, when it works, it works. When it don't, it looks really bad. You get what I'm saying? So there is no in between. You know what I'm saying? So if Dooley wants to be that guy, that's fine. You run what you run. But you're going to live and die with finding the right guy, just like Chip Kelly. So every time you find the right guy, you look like a superstar. When you don't, you look like trash. So that's just is what it is. That's why he tried to trade everything away to get Marcus Mariota, because he knew he needed his guy to run his system. And if you live and die like that, you're not going to have a long career calling offensive plays, because you're going to have times where you don't find your guy.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see in year 2, man.
We shall.
Year 2 gonna be something to see.
We shall. Hey, man, appreciate the call, Coach Green.
All
right, guys. Man, I really didn't think the conversation was gonna go this long, but man, I appreciate everybody calling in and talking about what they feel or whatever. But just what I had to let them Southern fans know, man. Don't get too high and mighty on your high horse, okay? Let's not forget who is running the show. Okay? Let's not forget. So listen now, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.